Lil Durk's career is hanging by a thread as he faces life in prison over charges in a shocking murder-for-hire plot. With the stakes higher than ever, the question remains, is this the end of his career? Stay tuned. Born Durk Devontay Banks, the Grammy Award-winning musician is now caught in a high-stakes federal murder-for-hire case, endangering not only his reputation, but also his freedom. With charges that can result in a life sentence, Lil Durk's future looms huge. Is this the end? It's important to know how Lil Durk evolved into one of the most powerful personalities in today's hip-hop world. From his Chicago's Englewood area beginnings, Durk has ascended to the top of the rap scene only by pure talent, genuineness, and tenacity. Many of his listeners could identify his achievements in terms of realism about the hard facts of street life. Deeply impacted by his own experience with grief, violence, and street activity, Durk's music connected with listeners all around. Early in the 2010s, he had his breakthrough with the release of his collection, Only the Family, which was instrumental in helping him become a major player in the drill music scene in Chicago. Major commercial success came because of Durk's unfiltered narrative combined with his melodic hook writing. While his collaborations with Drake and J. Cole drove him to even higher levels, albums like Remember My Name and Lil Durk 2X confirmed his position in mainstream hip-hop. Still, the success and notoriety Durk brought to himself came with legal problems and controversy. Chicago's drill scene has been characterized by its violent chapters. Durk, who is firmly rooted in that culture, has frequently found himself at the center of a number of disastrous occurrences, including claims of his participation in violent acts and conflicts with competing artists. Lil Durk's life changed drastically in 2022 when he discovered he was under fresh allegations connected to a federal murder-for-hire scheme. Originating from a supplemental grand jury indictment, the accusations relate to the killing of Xavier Robinsons and include conspiracy, the use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, and possession of firearms, including a machine gun. The storyline was aimed at Georgia-based rapper Quando Rondo, whose group participated in the 2020 shooting death of King Von, a close friend and partner. Fellow OTF member King Von was shot outside of an Atlanta nightclub. The murder rocked the entire hip-hop scene. Many believe that Von's death served as the catalyst for the alleged murder-for-hire plot against Quando Rondo, allegedly setting the stage for a violent and fatal attack on Rondo and his companions. Durk is accused of offering a bounty on Rondo's life in reprisals for Von's murder. Still, the hit fell short of expectations. Rather than Rondo personally, the shooters killed Rondo's cousin, Xavier A. Robinson. Robinson's untimely death heightened the case's stakes and resulted in federal charges against Durk and 5 others engaged in the plot, all of whom have connections to the OTF collective. Moreover, Lil Durk faces significant charges that clearly show his possible participation in systematic crime. According to the indictment, Durk funded the murder-for-hire plan with money from his hip-hop group OTF. Using OTF money to enable the trip to Los Angeles, where the murder plot developed, prosecutors claim Durk personally purchased airfare for the hitman. Authorities also argue that Durk's direct participation in the scheme is demonstrated by the fact his colleagues bought ski masks for the hitman and used his credit card to reserve hotel rooms. These specifics, together with evidence from an FBI agent, have created a picture of someone who actively participated in planning violence rather than being only a witness to it. The use of weapons, including machine guns and meticulous and coordinated murder planning, indicate a degree of sophistication and intent that is terrifying. This is a determined and deliberate act of revenge grounded in the world of gang culture and the harsh reality of the hip-hop underground, not a case of random street violence. Should Durk be found guilty on all counts, he runs a statutory maximum sentence of life in federal prison. One cannot emphasize the weight of these allegations. Among the most severe offenses one might encounter in the U.S. legal system are federal murder-for-hire convictions. Although Durk's legal team has not yet offered any significant defense, the weight of the evidence calls for the rapper's future to be precarious. Lil Durk's public persona has long been a complex blend of achievement and controversy, even before his indictment. While his music is lauded for its emotional depth and authenticity, his legal issues and personal life have occasionally overshadowed his artistic endeavors. His involvement in street activities and previous legal troubles have made him a polarizing figure. For many, he is a product of his surroundings, a man molded by the terrible reality of gang violence in Chicago. For some, his participation in such bloodshed compromises his reputation as an artist and role model. Still, the indictment has driven his public persona to fresh extremes. His legal problems have tarnished not only his name, but also business status. He reminds us that the rapid changes in public opinion may be caused by the removal of his honorary key to the village of Broadview, Illinois, following his imprisonment and public examination of his support for Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's campaign. Although Durk has a devoted following, the murder-for-hire accusations depict him in a harsher light that will be challenging, even for an artist of his level. With chart-topping albums and popular songs like All My Life, his music career, which was seeing an explosive rise in 2022, could now suffer a protracted downturn, with his legal circumstances taking the front stage over his artistic production. The Deep Thoughts record Durk was producing and promoting at the time of his imprisonment now seems like a far memory. Legal disputes have caused some well-known musicians to lose momentum in the business. Lil Durk, for all his talents, might not be exempt from such a fate. Lil Durk's trial starts in January 2025, and the rapper will have an array of defending himself against such grave accusations. Although he pleaded not guilty to the charges, the case against him looks to be based on solid circumstantial evidence, including travel records, financial activities, and FBI agent testimony. Durk's legal team will have to mount a strong defense to escape a conviction that would see him sentenced to life in prison, given the complexity and weight of the charges. A conviction affects Durk as well as the larger rap community in far-reaching ways. Should the rapper be found guilty, a career that may have been considered a shining example of achievement for Chicago's drill scene comes to an end. The allegations reflect more than simply a legal matter, they also reflect the results of living in a society in which violence is often as visible as artistry, and where revenge can occasionally be as prevalent as a legal issue. Durk's case also emphasizes the risks associated with belonging to a group that blurs the borders separating music from illegal conduct. His case may be further complicated by his links to OTF, a group authorities say has links to extreme violence. Lil Durk's situation is a sobering reminder of the expenses of a living lifestyle that's as perilous as it is profitable in a world where the streets often bleed into music business. Lil Durk's future is yet unknown while the court fight progresses. His charges are as severe as they are. Hence, a conviction would not only cut off his career, but also spend time behind bars. Durk has also been able to flourish in the face of difficulty, though. His rise to popularity was evidence of his fortitude and capacity to surmount obstacles. Still, this time the stakes are bigger than they have ever been. The result of Lil Durk's trial will determine whether or not he can free himself from the grasp of a federal prison and save his career. And the next chapter in this dramatic and sad narrative is still being written. Lil Durk exists right now at a crossroads. Though his future is unknown, one thing is clear. His legacy as an artist, a figure of influence and a symbol of Chicago's drill culture, has already been permanently changed. The way this judicial drama turns out will determine if this legacy is of tragedy or of atonement. Fans and detractors alike will be eagerly observing to see now whether Lil Durk can overcome the toughest obstacle in his career, or if it really is the end for the rapper. So will Lil Durk overcome this and continue to rise, or is this the end of his career? Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this developing story. Thanks for watching.